In the last hour, Ukrainian officials have said a deal has been reached between Kyiv and Washington on the joint exploitation of Ukraine's mineral resources. Now, the country is rich in oil and gas, as well as raw materials, as this map shows. Full details haven't yet been made public of the deal, but an agreement could be signed later this week and have consequences for the war with Russia. Donald Trump says President Zelensky might travel to the White House this Friday. Well, in a moment, we'll speak to James Waterhouse live in Kyiv, but first to Gary O'Donoghue, who's in Washington. Gary, has Donald Trump got what he wanted then?
Well, we were told yesterday by the president that this deal was close, and that turned out to be true. It seems that the I's have been dotted and the T's have been crossed. We don't know much about the detail. President Trump has said already that this could be worth, billions of dollars to the US, and an important part of his request. And he said just in the last few minutes, Clive, that he expected the deal to be signed later this week.
I hear that he's coming on Friday. Certainly, it's okay with me if he'd like to, and he would like to sign it together with me, and I understand that's a big deal, very big deal. And I think the American people, even if you look at polling, they're very happy because, Biden was throwing money around like it's cotton candy, and it's a very big deal. Look, it could be $1 trillion deal.
Now, we don't know exactly what President Trump has given in terms of security guarantees, which are a key part of Ukraine's ask, and we don't know how much of a share of those resources going forward that the Americans will have either. And of course, none of this can happen until the fighting is finished.
All right, Gary O'Donoghue live at the White House there. To you, James, in Kyiv. As Gary mentioned there, one of the key stipulations for Kyiv was some kind of security guarantee as part of this deal. Do you have any idea if that's part of the agreement?
Clive, I'm afraid I can't add to Gary's report there. We don't know any more details here on just what security guarantees Ukraine has secured from this apparent agreement. Now, you're right. This is what Ukraine has wanted. It has wanted America to be interested in its vast natural mineral resources in exchange for security guarantees. So boots on the ground, ammunition, weaponry, financial support to prevent Russia from invading again after a ceasefire is signed, after Russia keeps hold of the fifth of Ukraine it has taken so far. We are told by sources here that the terms of this deal are much more favourable. So you'll remember that Donald Trump said he wants access to $500 billion worth of Ukrainian minerals, a figure that's been disputed in these parts. That has now been dropped. And we must remind ourselves of the hostile backdrop, where Donald Trump has accused President Zelensky of being responsible for Russia's invasion, falsely labelling him as a dictator. It's been incredibly hostile. And now we have this apparent area of agreement. And the hope here is this. If America has agreed to this deal, then it gives it a stake. And if it has interests to defend, then that might equate to military support to enable Ukraine to exist after a ceasefire is signed.
Indeed. All right, James, good to see you. James Waterhouse there live in Kyiv. Many thanks.